I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Thank you for joining me. Well, let me not talk about the Wi-Fi again, just in case it jumps out before I need it to go, which I don't need it to go right now, right? So thank you for joining me. I just want to talk about a book I read, and it's called Did the Right Sperm Win? No. Again, thank you for joining. Thank you for sharing your time with me. I do appreciate it. I know this is not the best time for a lot of people, but I'm hoping that even if you come back to rewatch this video, that you will find something interesting and worthwhile, right? So I'm talking about, did the right sperm win? Now, the first time I was introduced to this book, it was a friend of mine who lives in the UK, and she sent me the link on Facebook, and she's like, "You gotta read this book." So, as a matter of fact, she sent me the link for the part 2 of the book, but I decided that I wanted to start at part 1. So I went on Amazon and I bought part 1. So I have not yet uh, purchased part 2. But can you imagine a title like this, Did the Right Sperm Win? And you're like, well, I really thought of, you know, a topic that's totally unrelated when I ended up reading the book. Now, the book is actually a collection of inspiring stories. Yes, it is a collection of inspiring stories, and it says it's guaranteed to get you thinking from another perspective, which, again, if you actually thought about sperm when you look at this book, then you'll be thinking about something else. So it is designed to get you thinking. Hey, eat, cook, and live it up. Welcome to my life. Thank you for coming and for sharing your time with me. Um, Let me just, somehow I can't see the comments there. They're delayed. So I'm going to go on my phone so I'm able to see it faster. Yeah, so did the right sperm win? No, again, it's a collection of stories, and I'm somebody who really loves to read. I read a lot. I will buy a book and I will read it all in one day. That's just how I go about it. I love to read. So today I'm going to read, the first story I'm going to read it's called Which Coffee Are You? Now, when I first saw this, first and foremost, I'm not a coffee person. I'm not really a coffee person. I've had coffee, yes. I've had different variations of coffee, but reading this book, I realized that there were a lot more coffee types than I thought, right? So it says, and this is chapter 16 in the book, it says, which coffee are you? There have been many metaphors adopted to explain mankind, their emotions, idiosyncrasies, relationships, and the way they act or respond in given situations. With the complexity of mankind, almost all metaphors have very glaring inconsistencies or limitations. What a time for the doorbell to ring. 1 minute, guys, 1 single minute. Please don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Sorry, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Welcome to my channel. Moment I started the live, my doorbell, went off, so I went to pick up a package. Okay, so I'm breathing heavily because I'm very unfit. Okay, so I was reading, which coffee are you? So, with the complexity of mankind, almost all metaphors have glaring inconsistencies or limitations. By far, the best representation I have found to explain mankind is coffee. Sounds too simple? Maybe. On a recent shopping trip to my mom and eldest son, on a recent shopping trip, my mom and eldest son attempted to describe a family friend and just could not find the right words. My mom started describing the object of their conversation by saying the person can never get straight to the point in any conversation. Now, do you know anybody like that? Just can't get to the point, just go around in circles, circles, circles. I don't have any patience for them kind of people. I'm one of those persons who will just say, look here, just get to the point, please. Yeah. So every time they spoke, she had to wait before he would get to the actual conversation. My son immediately piped up, just like a cappuccino, right, Mom? Momentarily, we all paused to search to find the similarity and a visual of a cappuccino. You're kidding me. The doorbell is ringing again. Oh my God. Please, guys. I'm going to have to turn it off. I'll be right back. Thank you. Okay. Thank you for your patience. I really appreciate it. Apparently, the postal worker did not scan the package, so she asked me to give it back to her to scan it. So thank you. So let me see where. Oh, I went to pick up a package and I gotta learn how to stop my camera. That's what I gotta learn. So I was reading, which coffee are you? So I'll start again. My son immediately piped up, just like a cappuccino. Right, Mom? Momentarily, we all paused. Oh gosh, I gotta catch my breath. Let me, guys, this is beetroot and carrots. I didn't put ginger in it this time around. I just didn't want to. So it's ginger and carrot that I juiced. Right, so my son immediately piped up, just like a cappuccino, right, Mom? Momentarily, we all paused as we searched to find the similarity and a visual of a cappuccino. After a few seconds of reflective silence, we all concluded with a resounding yes, just like a cappuccino. We all laughed at the description. Mom then asked me, what type of coffee would I be? I thought for a moment, then asked, I don't know. How many types of coffee can there be? See, I didn't know there were several types of coffee. Did you? Be honest now. Did you know that they had a lot of different types of coffees? I didn't. Thanks to this book, I figured it out. So it sounded simple enough, but as soon as I got home, I went to the internet to find out how many different types of coffee there are. Apparently, there exists quite a wide variety of shades, complexity, and types of coffee. The word coffee itself comes from the Arabic word, and I'm going to say kawa because I don't know how to speak Arabic. So I'm going to say kawa. According to the Huffington Post, in an article February 10th, 2014, there are about 38 different types of coffee drinks and derivatives. Now, this is quite remarkable as they all come from the one coffee bean. Just imagine that there's just one coffee, a coffee bean, but persons are able to produce over 38 different types of coffee drinks. Now, like I said, for me, I just knew coffee and then I knew cappuccino. Yeah, I just knew that. So that's how much I knew about coffee. Once again, thank you so much for watching this live, for sharing your time with me. I appreciate every single second that you are here. Feel free to comment, to ask me any questions. Please just keep your comments respectable and enjoy. So we are talking about the Right Sperm Win, which is a collection of inspiring stories. So it's not really one story about the right sperm. That's what I learned after reading the entire book. Yeah. So I can almost guarantee there is one that matches your personality. Here is a summary of the main types of coffees. No, when I'm reading, you have to figure out which one you are. Which one are you? Which one you are? Which one you is? Which one you think match your personality? Yeah. And I read it and I am still not even sure which one matches mine, but hopefully I can figure it out today again. So there is cafe au lait. Cafe au lait. This is the pampered coffee. Very posh indeed. Underneath the surface, these types are the same as every one of us, but they possess the added extras and so parade as if they are more privileged than everyone else. While others drive the normal people carriers or family car, they are driving the top-end motor vehicles that cost as much as a house. They dine on pate with the rest of the world, while the rest of the world eats crushed liver. Nothing wrong with crushed liver. And then now they're, oh, my phone went blank. My screen went blank. So then there is the espresso, right? The espresso. And remember, these are different derivatives of the coffee bean. So there's the espresso. The espresso looks small, but it's packed full of punch. Do not let the size fool you. It says exactly what it does. It delivers. This slightly contradicts the old adage that size matters, but clearly adds credence to the fact that good things come in small packages. If you are an espresso, then you should be taken in small doses and not messed around, as they can give as well as they can take. Now, espresso reminds me of my mother. That's what the author is saying, and she is strong to the point, and will keep you awake all night. Beginning to think, And then, if I don't call these words properly, please forgive me. Please. Some of them look some different languages. I speak English. So then there is, I'm going to say ristretto. Sounds Italian. It's not very popular, and most people might not even know this type of coffee. Ristretto types are blunt, no diplomacy, and straight to the point. If you cannot stand an espresso, then clearly stay clear of the ristrettos because they are the espresso plus. Thanks again for joining. Which coffee are you? So then there's a long black. Long black. These are twice what an espresso brings. This type, not to be messed with, not to be messed around. Crossing their path is asking for trouble. Not double the strength, but definitely double the size. These are the really abrasive people, and they have the muscle to prove it. You know what I say? Yeah. And then, hey Zane, hey Zane. Hey OD Justice TV, welcome, welcome. Go ahead and give the host a thumbs up, yeah? Hit the like button and share the live. Thank you. So then you have the Mocha personality. Now these are the real deal, but with added sweetness to take the edge off. For people who fall into the Mocha category, they are usually confident with who they are. They do not walk around flexing muscles and will carry an old lady shopping bag, but they can switch when they need to be. I have met a few mochas in my life. They are mixed, not pure coffee and not pure hot chocolate. They sit on the fence. Now, this seems to be the kind of person who will just go from 0 to 100. Like they just change, they just flip the script. They can be very nice, extremely, welcoming and hospitable and, all the nice things. But then like that, they're completely the opposite, and they don't tend to flaunt, I am this kind of person, I'm that kind of person, but you know who they are based on how they operate. And then we go to the Irish coffee, right? These are the wild ones. If you are throwing a party, then these are the type of people you want there. They bring the life to the party and they are not afraid to break rules. No. Do you know any Irish coffees? You know anybody who, as you say, them ready? As you say, party them dead? As you say, listen, last minute, I gotta go take a trip. Do you want to come with me? They're there with you. And these are the kind of persons who they push barriers. They don't stick to rules. And I don't think it's because they're just defiant. They just really push limits. Yeah. So do you know any Irish coffee? And listen, I do believe that persons can have a mixture of the different coffee types. I don't believe anyone is any one coffee type because depending on your circumstance, your situation, whatever, you might just flip over. But then I think you would be, one type would be dominant then. So yes. And then we have there's no Virgo coffee. And then we have the cafe. I'm going to say, listen, remember now, I don't know these languages. If I'm wrong, correct me. Drop it in the comments. I don't know if it's macchiato or macchiato. Maybe it's macchiato, like chia. I don't know. Maybe it's macchiato. Maybe it's macchiato. So cafe that. This literally translates into meaning stained coffee. Stained coffee. And there's nothing else there. So these are the kind of people who I'm going to say These persons would be maybe negative. These persons would be bad for you. I'm not throwing any words at the coffee macchiato or macchiato. I'm just saying, in personality wise, these persons may not be the best influence. You know, they may leave a mark on you that's dangerous. I'm going to say that. And then we have the frappe. Now, it is said that this coffee was accidentally invented, and the story goes on to say it is preferred by youths. Frappe is the hip and the trendy type. They do not plan, they just live day to day. Now, again, it is used to describe mainly the youth because they're saying that nowadays youth don't really plan much. They just, you call it happy-go-lucky. They just do whatever comes to mind. And, what are your plans for the next 5 years? I don't know. What are your plans for the next? I don't know. I don't even know what my plans are for tomorrow. That's the frappe type. And then we have the Turkish coffee, right? So these are unfiltered. Can you imagine? Unfiltered. They are not as polished as the cafe au lait of this world, but will settle into any food company quite nicely. You may never see their unpolished personalities unless you decide to shake the cup. Then you will know very quickly how unpolished they are. And I think we have this saying in Jamaica, if you don't mash ants, you can't see him gut. It's something similar because, you have to push this kind of person, a Turkish coffee, to the limit. You have to push them for them really get out. Yeah, them unpolished, but they don't go around just being unpolished. You have to, push to know that they're unpolished. I hope I'm not breaking up there again. I changed my internet connection, so let's see. I hope not. So you have to handle the Turkish coffee personality with caution. Slow and steady does it. It's a bit rough. The Turkish coffee, they're a bit rough, but they will adapt to their surroundings. I'm telling you, if tested, you will see their true colors. If you know mash ants, see them gut. Yeah. So again, welcome to this live, guys. Thank you for sharing your time with me. I really, really appreciate it. I know your time is important to you as well. So I really appreciate, every second that you're here. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up and, share it with your family and friends. They can always come back and watch it. We're talking about the Right Sperm Win. And I'm actually reading a story that's talking about different personality types, but they are using the metaphors of coffee, right? So I didn't know they had several different coffee types or coffee variations or different things what coffee make, like the frappuccino and the cappuccino and the frappe, Turkish coffee. What else did I read? Cafe au lait, mocha, stuff like that. So I'm learning, right? So now we go to the cappuccino personality. Now these are a dangerous type. These are a dangerous type, the cappuccino personality. They don't blow up easily. Silent river run deep, yeah? They don't blow up easily. When they get angry, all the heat is kept inside. They're always over the top in whatever they do. They are quite popular, but everyone knows not to cross them, and it drives you crazy waiting for them to cool down. They usually ramble on a bit before they get down to business, covered in froth because of the process they go through. Once you drink a cappuccino, you get the coffee, but the foam is left on your lip as a reminder and stays there until you wipe it off. Hey, hey Mario, welcome. Oh wow, I hope this is just not giving me this thing again. This internet looks like it's buffering. Oh, Eat Cook, we're talking about the cappuccino type. We are talking about the cappuccino type right now. So my internet is connected. I don't know what's happening. So we're talking about the cappuccino type. These are dangerous. They don't blow up easily. Nothing that they won't blow up. They don't blow up easily. And when they get angry, it's like they keep all the heat inside. I feel like I am so much a cappuccino because I don't know, I see myself in a few of these things, but I'm seeing myself in the cappuccino. I mean, when I get angry, that's why I tell you I cry so much. I cry so much because when I'm so angry and I prefer not to talk, I prefer not to blow up, I prefer to keep it inside and bawl, you know? And I feel like I might not be quite popular, but people know, say, you know, to really cross me because I will just point it out. I'm gonna bring it out. Yes. And so we're gonna move to the flat white. So this type is not about sucking up. Similar to the cappuccinos, but contain much less froth. Ugh. A good flat white is all about packing as much taste as possible into a small package and is straight to the point. Now, with a cappuccino, the difference is that even though they keep it inside, you know, when you actually have the cappuccino, it has the frothy, the whatever. So you may leave it on your lips. But it's if we're talking about applying it to, you know, the person, I will keep what I'm keeping inside, yes. But when we done talk about it, when we come out and talk about it now, it's it's not finished. I tend to have that personality. It's not finished right now. When I talk about it, when I address it today, it's not me address it and it done. You are going to see the residue of the froth tomorrow and maybe a couple days later because I'm going to ensure that you get the point. Yeah, more when you see the froth, you get the point. That's me. Welcome to the live. Go ahead and give this live a thumbs up. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for sharing your time with me. And again, we're talking about did the right sperm win? No, it's not what you're thinking. It's actually a collection of inspiring stories. And we're talking about how we can associate or line up our personality or humanness to the different copy types that exist. So we're gonna move to, and I hope by now you're finding your coffee type, okay? Hey, Stephen, welcome. Thank you for sharing your time with me. So then we're gonna go to, and remember again, disclaimer, I speak English. Some of these words, I don't know them, so I'm just trying to pronounce them. So I'm gonna say this one is called the Mazagran, or the Mazagran, or the Mazagran, whatever. I'm gonna say Mazagran. So the Mazagran, these are cold. They get the job done because they have what it takes, but they are emotionless. This type is not ruled by their emotions. They just do what is required. Good workers, especially where one is not required to show any type of emotion. Now, do you know anybody who has no emotions? Like just no emotions. Like they don't smile, they don't show anger, they're not sad, they're just flat. No emotions. It's not like you're having let me say the kind of exchange. For example, a kind of person like this would not do well in, say, a store. I'm going to call it Mazagran. Yes. Would not do well in a store that serves persons, you know, different personalities, persons coming in and going out. And somebody might come in and they have a, you know, this smile on them face and whatever. This person's just got no emotions. You'll probably come into the store and you're looking for an outfit because somebody in your family passed away and you have a what they call it, a funeral service or a memorial service or something of that nature to attend, and you're coming and you're probably sad and your face looking away and you say, oh, I'm looking for an outfit to wear to such and such, memorial service. And the person's like, okay, do you want black? You want something white? You're really looking for purple, what color? Okay. You wear pants or dress. And you're there thinking, I just said, I'm trying to find something for a memorial service for my, let's say, grandmother. She was dear to me. I just said all of that. And this person just went ahead and asked me, what size are you? You're looking for black, white, purple. Those are the kind of persons who are like massacre. They just do what is required to get the job done. And at this time, his job is to sell you something, make a sale. That's what he's doing, so he, she, whomever. So that's the Mazagran. And I know people like that. You like this book, Mario? Okay, it's called Did the Right Sperm Win? And it's on Amazon. That's where I got this. There are two, like part one, part two. This is part one. I think part two is a blue cover. And I'm not advertising. I'm not being paid to advertise. I'm just sharing from this book. So then we have the last type that is explained in the book. Remember, there are over 38 different types. So this one now is the decaffeinated. The decaffeinated. No, the decaffeinated. These are the pretenders. Who are they? The pretenders. We all know people who pretend, and they pretend very well. So the decaffeinated are the pretenders. They do not actually belong in your group because they have no substance. They wear masks and they appear to blend in, but actually do not contribute anything to the success and growth of anything. They have zero effect on the situation. Zero. Zero. I know I say I don't know any other language, but you have zero. Is it zilch? Nada? Zero? None? They have zero effect on the situation. So we all have different people, different personalities in our space every single day. And it's for us to pick and choose and for dash with some of them coffee here. Because even when you look at the pretenders, you know these people. You know them because at some point in time, they show their true selves. And you realize that these... So then if you're not a cappuccino, Stephen, then you're probably the flat white. You are, you have the personality of the cappuccino, but when you're done, you're done. So that's the flat white, not sucking up. Not sucking up. I mean, I don't suck up either, but I feel like when after today, me I walk with the froth. Sorry, that's just me. So you may be the flat white because you just done straight to the point and done. I'm gonna be like you one day. So yes, Mario, we have to just dash some of the coffee. It's not good for you. And decaffeinated is one of those things. I have nothing against decaf or caffeinated, whatever options they have in their coffees. But I always felt like if I'm gonna drink coffee, I don't want decaffeinated coffee because I do feel like I don't fake, if that's the word, like it's just not real then. If it's coffee, it's coffee. How do you take away coffee from coffee? I don't know. So it's so true, like it's a pretentious kind of thing. Yes. Zane, you are still young. You're still young and you still have a far way to go to know what kind of coffee you are. I pray every day that you never ever become decaffeinated, because that's a pretender. That's you being who you are not. And I want you to be yourself. You know, you need to be yourself. So remember, I asked him to read this book. Zane is my son, and I asked him to read this book in the summer. He said he couldn't find it. I was out, and he said he couldn't locate the book. So he was not able to read the book. But I will tell you later what type of coffee I think you are. Well, it does say that the frappe is liked unto the children, the youth. So they do not plan, they just live day to day, hip and trendy. But I know you will grow into being, an espresso, strong, to the point, and active, you know. So the end note to this is coffee is definitely like people. Such a wide range, but each comes in different sizes, has different strengths and varying effects. The author, she has concluded that she's a black coffee. She's ground, not instant, and there's a bit of hard work in getting her to a certain level, but with every ounce of effort, if she gets into hot water, she changes the water and she makes her presence known. So I do believe that, like I said, everybody has a little bit of every coffee in them at some point, depending on the situation, then that will just come out. But I do believe there's a dominant coffee type in everybody. I do believe there's a dominant coffee type in everyone. And I don't know, I'm going to leave myself at cappuccino, and probably a little bit of ristretto. I do believe I am sometimes blunt. No, I'm not restricted. No diplomacy, like you just say things and you don't care how people feel. You just say, no, I'm not like that. I have tact. I will care how you feel, but I will say what I'm saying in the nicest possible way and mean what I'm saying. And if you are hurt after I'm finished saying what I'm saying, I will apologize for the hurt that you're feeling, but me not apologize for what I say, because what I said needed to have been said. Yes, so right. So everybody's a little bit of everything except the decaffeinated. Me not into the decaf thing. Me not into it. Me will tactfully tell you what you need to know, but me not pretentious. Who you see is who you see. So Stephen is saying he has no time to pretend, and what you see is what you get. And I feel like life would be so much better if we were more open, if we were more comfortable being who we are. But we live a life pretending to be somebody else. We actually live a life pretending to be somebody else, which makes our own life, so much more difficult to actually live. Like, who wants to be somebody else? There's a popular saying, be yourself, because everybody else is already taken. I don't remember who said that, but it's not my words. Be yourself because everybody else is already taken. And that's true. Why do I want to be Stephen? Why do I want to be Christina? Why do I want to be Zane? Why do I want to be Mario? Like, be yourself. I want to be me. Don't spend your time trying to be somebody else. No, too much work into that. So I run down the cafes. The cafes. Lord of mercy. I wanted to say coffee, but I'm looking at the word cafe, and I said, well, let's run down the cafe. So we go down the coffees, the different types again. So there's cafe au lait And I like the sound of that because it's French. So it's cafe au lait, espresso, ristretto, long black, mocha, Irish coffee, cafe, macchiato or macchiato, frappe, Turkish coffee, cappuccino, flat white, Grande, decaffeinated coffee. So, which coffee are you? All right, so that was one that I really liked. And then, so that was chapter 16. So I'm going to do now chapter 22, right? And before I go to chapter 22, you have to remember that everybody has their own personality, right? You may be a very strong flat white or a very strong cappuccino or a very strong espresso, and somebody else is more of the frappe or the Turkish coffee. You have to be mindful when you're dealing with persons because everybody's personality is different. You have to understand, if you're able to understand, because you don't get to be around everybody all the time. So some person that you're going to meet is just going to be this exchange and that's it. So you have to be mindful that other persons have different personalities, and so you can't just throw your personality at somebody and expect them to be like you or to understand your personality. When you are more knowledgeable, when you are more aware that there are in fact different types of personalities, you know this, then when you meet somebody, you should be able to say to yourself, okay, this person is not like me, so I can't just be blunt and expect them not to feel any way. Or this person is not like me, I can't just expect them to withhold the hurt that you're feeling like a cappuccino and not blow out. You understand? When you are more knowledgeable, then you need to act that way when you're dealing with other persons to ensure that you do not, step on them can then. You don't really have to step on nobody can, You really don't. So be mindful. So then my next story, which I hope will just take me a little bit over an hour. So thank you again for joining this live. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your comments and your interaction. So this story is, this story is called The Phoenix Point. Now, earlier this year, I decided that I had to research the kind of bird that a phoenix is, because I'm always hearing about the phoenix and the phoenix rising and all of these things. So I went to research only to find out that it's not a real thing. It's an, like, what do you call it? Like a mythology, ideology, something. It's mental. It's something that, whatever. It's not a real. It's not an animal. It's not a bird. So imagine my shock just this year. But I still liked the message that it sent, being a phoenix. So this one is called The Phoenix Point. I attended my son's prize giving some years back, and the keynote speaker started his address with a lovely story I wanted to share. He told the story of a coach at halftime trying to rally his team to victory. The coach gathered his football team together for a halftime pep talk after being down 4-0. Boys, he rallied, we are down and it looks very dark and gloomy. It may even look like there's no way out of this one. Many teams would have given up at this point, but remember, when everything seems lost and you are at the bottom, then the only way to go is up. So come on, lads, shake off the dust and the ashes and let us rise up like the peasant from those ashes and soar. Coach, the new boy interrupted. Do you mean Phoenix? What? The coach glared at young Thompson. The bird, it's called a phoenix, sir. That's the name of the bird that rises from the ashes. The coach looked at the young man as if he would strangle him right there in the dressing room, but was deterred only by the number of witnesses in the room. Thompson, the coach thundered, don't bother me with trivialities. I don't care what the bird was. I just know it was one of that birds and it starts with an F. So the coach doesn't care what kind of bird it be. Him just know it start with an F. Come on. Phoenix doesn't begin with an F. Well, not in writing, but in sound. Yes, it does. So they won the game 6-4. Long live the Phoenix. So even though they were down, the coach pulled them aside and said, listen, you got to rise like the Phoenix out of the ashes. You have to come back. Do not give up just because you are down. Because the truth is, the only way you can go from down is up. Now, maybe people can dig themselves further down, but at the end of the day, no matter how down you go, the opposite direction of down is up. So you got to rise, right? So let's face it, everyone has those days, months, or even years when nothing seems to go right. Evictions, repossessions, bankruptcy, broken relationships, job dissatisfaction, natural disasters, sickness, etc. And the list goes on. Many people give up at these low points. They may drift into depression, give up, or decide life is no longer worth living. They fail to realize that nature's favorite shape is a circle. Nature's favorite shape is a circle. And if you find yourself at the bottom of that wheel, it will only be a matter of time before you are back at the top, provided you keep that wheel turning. The secret is to make sure you have enough in you to ride out the next turn of the wheel. No one stays on top indefinitely. No one stays on top indefinitely. If it is not one thing, it will be something else. Understand that no one has a perfect life. So it is at these low points that some people realize when you are at the bottom, then the only way is up. For some people, these are the moments when they stop their moaning and dwelling in self-pity and start that wheel spinning again. This is what I like to call their phoenix point. This is when they rise from the ashes, shake off the dust, broken dreams, broken promises, misfortunes, and decide to start working to make it back to the top. Your phoenix point, it may come in many forms. You just need to recognize it. For some people, it might be the realization that your children are totally dependent on you and you cannot let them down. For others, it may just be the motivation to prove all your doubters and haters wrong. It may be a religious revelation, or it may just be a kind word or a simple conversation. There is an old Jamaican story told of a man who had reached the bottom and decided to end it all. He climbed a tree, and as he sat there watching for the right moment to jump, he ate his last meal of a ripe banana and dropped the skin on the ground. As he was about to jump, another man wandered under the tree, and seeing the banana peel, he started to eat it. The man hurriedly decided not to jump, and he went back home. He had realized that as bad as his life was, there were others that were worse off. That moment became his Phoenix point. Now, your Phoenix point may not even happen during a low point in life. It may come when you realize that the friends you have will not help you to accomplish your dreams. You need to move and leave them behind. You may be sitting an exam and realize you need to work harder for the scholarship. And this is the point I highlighted in my book. It says, a Phoenix point is when you realize that there needs to be some change and you start working to bring about that change. Recognize your Phoenix point and start moving. A Phoenix point is when you realize that there needs to be some change and you start working to bring about that change. Recognize your Phoenix point and start moving. Now, like it's saying, a lot of persons only change when they're at their lowest point, like them they face down. Them can't go no further down. But we have to recognize that that's not the only time we can realize what where our Phoenix point is, because it may just be that you're going along and you're happy, you're all right, you're not low, you're okay. But then you realize that you are still going nowhere because the people you associate with, the people you have around you, your friends, your co-workers, whatever, they are, I'm going to say, stagnant for want of a better word. Them not pushing you to be any better, and you associate with them, which means they're on the same level. Who is going to pull who? So sometimes it is you, and it's not that they are bad. It's just that you recognize that where they are and where they are headed, that's not where you want to go. And where you want to go, they are just not able to help you to go there. So if you realize that you are at a standstill, you are going down, you need to change something, then you need to change what that is. Nobody can change it for you. Nobody can point to you and say, this is your Phoenix point. So say they're too low now. This is where you have to go so, and this is where you have to go so, right? So your Phoenix point is important. It's something that you have to recognize for yourself. You have to want that change, and then you have to make that change. You have to want that change, and you have to make that change. So understand when you're low, understand when you're not so low, but you still need to make a change. You have to make that change for you. If it's not working out, make that your Phoenix point. I remember in December 2019, I decided that 2020 is going to be my Phoenix year. No, we are all aware of what's happening in 2020. And I'm saying to myself, am I going to just lay back and say, okay, because of this and because of that, I am not going to rise from the ashes? Yes, I felt probably my lowest point across the board in 2019. And I determined that in 2020, I can't stay aground. I can't stay beyond the ashes. I have to rise. I have to recognize, and I recognized at that point that I needed to have a Phoenix point. I need to have a change. I need to rise from the ashes. Yes, because you cannot keep doing the same things and expecting different results. That's not sensible, right? If you keep adding 1 plus 1, you're going to get 2. So if you want 3, you're going to have to add 1 plus 2 or 2 plus 1 or 1.5 plus 1.5. But you cannot continue to add 1 plus 1 and expect to get 3. You will always get 2. So you have to recognize your Phoenix point. And like I said, it doesn't have to be at a low point where you feel like your back is against the wall, like nobody's there for you. It could just be you are pursuing something and you're like, this is it. I need to make a change. This is not where I really want to go. I'm pursuing it, but this is not what I want. So I need to make a change. And that is your Phoenix point, that change when you recognize that you're going where you don't want to go and you decide you're going to change. So I have been reading from this book, Did the Right Sperm Win? And this book was written by Vinette Hoffman-Jackson. She was born in Jamaica, but she has lived in the UK for the past 12 years as at writing this book. And she has worked in the educational sector for over 20 years in various leadership roles and has been consistently judged as an outstanding classroom practitioner. She enjoys reading, writing, and the occasional game of chess. She is a multi-award winning motivational speaker and regularly writes motivational articles published in magazines such as Black Bright News. She is a single mother of 3 boys and considers her role as mom the most important thing in her life. And it also states where she worships. So, Did the Right Sperm Win? Is not really a book about biology. Yeah, it's not one of those books, but it's actually a collection of inspiring stories to get us thinking, having different perspectives on the way we see different things. Like we earlier talked about, aligning personality types with different types of coffee. And I was saying that my personality type could easily be cappuccino dominated, but I believe that everybody has a little bit of something else. But we try not to be the decaf because the decaf is the pretentious coffee or the pretentious person who, they're not really who they say they are. So you can't trust somebody who is pretentious. So that was that. I'm going to do one last story from this book today. Maybe another time I'll come back with this book, maybe not, because I do like to read, so I have loads of books, loads of options. Right, so this one is called The Traffic Lights. Welcome to my video. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate every second that you're here. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. You just need to click the X at the top of the video, go over to your left, click the thumbs up, and then you click live chat to get back into this chat if you want to comment within the chat. So this story is called The Traffic Lights. No, I was driving back from Aylesbury sometime in September 2015 and took the scenic route to get back home to Luton. I was rocking to some classic Gregory Isaacs, one of my favorite many reggae icons, when I came to a very narrow bridge and a red traffic light, so I slowly came to a stop. I was at the front of the queue, and very soon other vehicles started lining up behind me. Before I knew it, I had a long queue patiently waiting at my rear. After about 5 minutes, I started getting impatient. The traffic coming in the opposite direction had ceased 3 minutes ago. Why was the light still red? Was it broken? I waited for another 3 minutes, but still the light was on red. At that point, I rationalized the risk of trying to go through the red light, even though I could not see over the bridge and around the corner. I slowly eased off the brake and started inching forward cautiously. Then, as soon as I got closer, the red light immediately changed to green, allowing me to go through. I related the incident to a friend later that day, and he explained what happened. Apparently, the stoplights were operated using motion sensors. I had stopped my car too far back, and so the light remained on red because the sensors did not pick up that a car was there. The lights therefore remained on red. As soon as I started moving closer, they sensed the vehicle and changed to green, allowing me to go through. If I had not moved closer, I would still be waiting at that red light. And I have been to those motion stoplights where if you stop too far, it doesn't pick up the vehicle. So you have to go closer, not close enough to obstruct any traffic, but closer so that it can sense your vehicle in order to, stop the oncoming vehicle and give you the go ahead. So I definitely understand what she went through that day. And she's lucky she never have like the Jamaican drivers to make sure that she come out of the way because we can be very impatient when we're driving in Jamaica. Yes. So as I reflected on my experience, I could see some similarities in how we approach things sometimes. In life, when problems arise, we tend to stop in our tracks, waiting for the problem to go away or for someone else to solve it for us. At times, we hide away or look in another direction, refusing to acknowledge we have a problem. We need to realize that if we cautiously approach the problem, then a solution usually presents itself. Think back on your life about some of the problems you have experienced, the problems you thought were too big and you would never get through. Where are they now? Have they not shrunk in size or disappeared altogether? So, the fact that you are still here and reading or listening means that those problems were solved or are being solved or will soon be solved. There are very few, if any, problems in this world that have no solution. And it says mathematics may disagree. Think about it for a while. There is always a solution, even if you do not agree with it. And then she posed a challenge. She said, face your problems, do not hide from them, inch forward slowly and cautiously, and the solution will present itself. Now, I am not um, free from hiding from my problems, from sitting still, looking the other direction when problems come up. I have done that. And if we are human enough and honest, we have all at some point had something and we're like, I'm not even dealing with it. I'm just going to pretend it's not there. I'm not going to try attempt to fix it or to do nothing about it because we don't all like problems, right? Not everybody wants to have a problem. So it's just, encouraging us then to not hide from our issues, not look the other way when we're having problems, but to cautiously inch forward. Yes, cautiously inch forward because some problems really big. You can't just dive in it. You have to take your time. You have to sit back and listen. Sitting back and taking time to think about how you approach an issue doesn't mean that you're hiding from it or running away from it. Running away from it means say you get up on your own, you move, you don't want to do with it. It means say you have been issue with your job and you just get up and gone. You change job. You change job and you find so you have the same issue, you change again. You don't realize the issue going with you. It's going with you. So when are you going to deal with it? You can't keep running from your problems. You have to find a way to inch forward cautiously, mindfully, and deal with your issues. Because if you don't deal with them, who going to deal with them for you? You tell me. If you don't deal with your problems, who going to deal with them for you? I'm listening. You tell me. The challenge is face your problems. Do not hide from them. Inch forward slowly and cautiously. A solution will present itself. Don't run from your problem them, because me just feel like your problems coming like your shadow, and no matter where you run to, no matter where you run to, when the sun come out, you're going to see a problem right there with you. The only time you won't see it is night. But when the sun comes out, you're going to see your problems again. So you need to learn to deal with your problems, face them face on. So that's it for this book today, Did the Right Sperm Win? So I have been drinking my beetroot because I try to maintain a healthy lifestyle. And I think all day today I had celery juice early in the morning for breakfast. It's after 5. So this is lunch and dinner. No, so I'm gonna need to eat something. I feel like I'm gonna need to eat something. So I'm gonna run this for another 6 minutes till it gets to 1 hour and 15 minutes. Then I need to eat because I need to eat before night come down. So I can do some other things and the food can go on travel down. Hear some throat, the big word I can't call it, and go into my belly. Yeah, the big word I can't call it. So I just want to say thank you so much, guys, for stopping by and for sharing your time with me. The book it really has some very interesting stories, some analogies, metaphors, whatever you want to call them, ways to look at life differently, ways to look at yourself differently and at other persons differently, and whatever other situations you may be facing in your life. Be a phoenix, rise from the ashes. When you're down, rise. Don't stay down. When you're down, look up, get up, and stay up. And if you fall down 100 times, get up 101. Do not stay down. Be the phoenix and rise from the ashes. Staying down, I coined this phrase, staying down is a position, but it's not a permanent. I'm going to come back with that. I wrote it down somewhere, but it's not a permanent position, at least not for me. It's temporary. Can never be permanent. Can never be permanent. Yes, Zane, you heard the same story before. So staying down should not be permanent for you. It should be temporary. And if you fall once, get up twice. Yes, always keep getting up. Do not stay down. And you do not have to wait until you fall to change course. If you find that you're doing something that's not working for you, be that phoenix, rise from that situation. Change. Rise. Yes. The first story was about the different types of coffee, different personality types that we are. You may be one dominant type, but you may have something from the other types in you. Just hone who you are and be the best that you can be every single time. There is no excuse for being less than your best. Always strive to be the best. Every day you get up, you tell yourself, today I'm going to be the best. And you're not trying to compete with anybody. The only person you should be competing with is yourself yesterday, who you were yesterday. So today, I'm competing with myself yesterday because I wasted 2 hours doing cleaning I mean, it's not wasting, but I spent an entire 2 hours cleaning when I could have done it in 30 minutes. So I wasted 1.5 hours then, right? So I'm competing with that self to ensure that today I don't waste a single second. So you compete with yourself, not with anybody else, because everybody's so different. I don't even know who you're competing with, right? So be your best coffee self. Be your best coffee self. Black coffee, white coffee, cappuccino, frappuccino, frappe, Irish coffee, Turkish coffee, latte, whatever variation of coffee that you are, just be your best coffee self, okay? And face your problems, don't run from them. Be your best coffee self, and like a phoenix, rise. Rise from the ashes like a phoenix. Yeah. So thank you so much again, guys, for joining me. I really appreciate your time. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section. Subscribe if you have not yet subscribed. Yes, I didn't even say that all this video. So subscribe if you're not yet a subscriber. You can share my content with anybody else. If you like what I'm doing, go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section. If there's a book that you want me to read and share, as long as I can afford the book, I'll go ahead and buy it. If it's online, I'll get it. I do love to read. And if you also just want to gift me some books, I'll be more than happy to accept those books. I do love to read. So today we covered Did the Right Sperm Win by Vinette Hoffman. And there is actually one story in this book that is titled Did the Right Sperm Win? There's actually one book, one story. But this entire book is a collection of different stories that are inspirational and that are meant to help us to look at life from another perspective. Because the truth is, it's not that we don't know, but sometimes it takes somebody else to bring forth their perspective on something for you to say, it's true. Or, say, no, I don't agree with that, because not everything will be true. So you can say, no, you don't agree with that, or you can see then where that person is coming from. And somebody's perspective doesn't equal to truth. Just know that. Somebody's perspective is their perspective. So she shared her perspective, I shared mine. You might read it and you have a different perspective. And it's fine, because we are all unique thinking human beings. So nobody's saying that because you read something, then you should take whatever the person says or whatever information is there as, people would say, gospel. The truth. It has to be the truth. So grab this book if you have never, or you don't have a book such as this. You can grab it, Did the Right Sperm Win. It's on Amazon. Again, I'm not advertising, I'm just sharing, because it's an awesome book. And I do believe that there is value when you share. Yes, we need to share. We need to share more good things. We do need to share more good things. So again, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Let me know what you think about this video in the comments, this book, the messages I shared with you today, or the messages that I shared with you today. Thank you for sticking with me through my internet disconnections and through the doorbell. I had to go answer the doorbell twice. Lost my breath because I am so unfit. Did I tell you guys I put on some 14 pounds? You see my face, or it's fat? Put on a couple of pounds, but I do appreciate you stopping by. I really do. And I just want you to have a very good evening. I should be dropping a video this evening on how to cook. Not how to cook. It was a mukbang I did with curry chicken back. I don't know why I keep leaving off the word back. I'm not afraid of curry chicken back. But I did a video about curry chicken back. I should be dropping that this evening, and it would be good to have you guys over while I premiere that video later on from today. I think I want to do it at 7 o'clock. So thank you once again. Thank you for your time. Thank you for dropping by. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your interaction. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for watching. just thank you so much for the love. Thank you for the subscriptions. And I just want to say one love. And I say God bless you. If you say Jehovah, Jehovah bless you. If you say Allah, Allah bless you. Whoever you call on, one love. So thank you.